Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're taking a look at Chinese stocks listed in the US. Before we begin, remember to take a second to give the video a like and subscribe as you greatly help our channel. Without further ado, let's first start off with Tencent Holdings. So you can see that Tencent, after hitting 24.75, we see a pretty good rebound. We found some support at the blue conversion line before we saw a gap up towards the red baseline resistance. And currently now the support level is the first red baseline at around 30.23, and the second support would be this blue conversion line at 28.11. That said, we actually surpassed this 50% Fibonacci resistance level. So the next resistance to watch out for is 61.8% at 31.52, 33.36, and potentially back to 35.71 levels. Moving on to Alibaba or BABA. So for Alibaba, you can see that we found good support at an all-time low at around $57, $58. That said, we saw a rebound, but this rebound is not that fantastic. Currently, we are at 38.2% at 68.81. The next resistance to watch out for will be 72.15 and also this $76 levels. Looking at this critical resistance would be this red baseline at 72.15 levels. For the support to watch out for will be this blue conversion line at 66.45. Let's move on to the next particular stock of NetEase. So for NetEase, you can see that we did see a rebound at $53 levels, and this was also a critical support back then in this particular low here in March 2020. So this is very similar to a double bottom for now. That said, we still have a lot of resistance to clear, 38.2%, 64.05, 67.44, and 70.82. But this baseline will be the most critical resistance to clear, which coincides with this 50% Fibonacci resistance level. For the support to watch will be the $60 psychological support level and also this blue conversion line at around 59.06. Let's move on to NIO. So for NIO, we hit a low of 8.38 and we see a rebound. We closed the week at around 11.68. So this is around the 38.2%. The next critical resistance to watch out for will be 12.63. This red baseline here and also this 50% Fibonacci resistance level. However, that's it. The 61.8%, but this 13.63 remains as a critical resistance for NIO to clear. If we can potentially clear further, then 15.06 and 16.88 may be the next two targets to watch out for. As for the support to watch will be this blue conversion line at around 10.36 levels. So let's move on to JD.com. So for JD, we hit a low of $33, and then we saw some buyers stepping back in. We managed to actually hit back all the way up to the red baseline. So that is a good sign for now. That said, this 50% at 43.78 still remains as a potential resistance ahead. And the next resistance to watch out for will be 61.8% at 46.28. Support will be the $40 psychological support level. Moving on to the next particular stock, Baidu. So BIDU, it's significantly weaker. You can see that we have yet to even cross this 23.6% at 87.43. So next support will be $94 and $100. Of course, this previous support will turn into a very strong resistance, and it also coincides with this red baseline here. For the blue conversion line, it's a critical support that we have to hold. If not, potentially we may test back this 75 lows. So let's move on to PDD or Pinduoduo. So for PDD, you see that we actually found some potential stop hunting below the $40 psychological support level. Here, low of 38.80 with clearly some good volume here, and we bounce back up. That said, we are already approaching the cloud resistance. So on the way up, the cloud will act as a resistance, while on the way down, the cloud will act as a potential support. So you can see that we surpassed 61.8% and we closed at 61.89. In the event that more buyers step in next week, then potentially 65.70 and 73.02 may be the next two target for PDD. That said, support to watch out for will be around $53, $54 at this blue conversion line and this red baseline. Let's move on to some of the ETF, starting with KWEB. So for KWEB, we hit a low of 17.22 and we closed the week at around 22.81. You can see that we actually surpassed this red baseline, which was a critical resistance to clear. That said, now it should act as a very strong support level at around $21, $22. 2080 is also a very critical support as it's holding this blue conversion line currently. If you can surpass this 2310, which is a very critical resistance next week for KWEB, then that would be a good sign, potentially sending us to 2469 and 2673. Moving on to CWEB. So CWEB, a similar situation, even though it's slightly weaker, you can see that we are still below this red baseline and it's acting as a very critical resistance at around 3163 levels. At the same time, it coincides with the 50% Fibonacci, 3163. So the next resistance to watch out for will be 3495 and 3968. That said, support to watch out for will be around 2623, and hopefully the $30 psychological support can hold us as well. Lastly, let's talk about the last ETF or FXI, iShares China Large Cap ETF. So you can see that we did see a rebound after hitting around the lows of 2087, but we are still far away from the next resistance at this red baseline here at around 2413. So if you can surpass it next week, then that will be good, potentially going up towards the 61.8% at 2490 levels, or also this around this $25, where you can see that this was a previous resistance here. So overall, you can see that the Chinese stocks isn't looking too good, even though we did see a potential rebound. Whether or not we see a potential reversal from here, we'll see the market sentiments and if there are any more potential bad news coming up or good news coming up for these Chinese stocks. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.